Hello dear students, welcome you all for the third session of the fourth chapter Business Taxation 4, 6th semester Mangalore University BCom. So in this session we are going to discuss who are the persons liable and not liable for registration under GST. My session will include person liable for registration and person not liable for registration. Now let us discuss who are the persons who are liable for registration. The first one is based on the threshold limit. So every person who makes a taxable supply of goods or services, and if his aggregate turnover exceeds rupees 40 lakh, in case of goods it is 40 lakhs, in case of services it is 20 lakhs. So if it exceeds 40 lakhs in case of goods and 20 lakhs in case of services, then he has to compulsorily get registration. And for special category gates, in case of goods 20 lakhs, in case of services it is 10 lakh. Then second one is casual taxable persons. In the sense, person who makes occasional trades, he has to compulsorily get registration. Then person liable to pay GST under reverse charge. Reverse charge means instead of supplier paying the tax, here the purchaser will pay the tax. So that is reverse charge. So when you purchase from an unregistered dealer, the purchaser will have an obligation to pay the GST. So that person has to compulsorily get registration. Then, so any electronic commerce operators such as Amazon, Flipkart, eBay, all these electronic commerce operators have to compulsorily get registration. There is no threshold limit for them since they are electronic commerce operators. Through them, there will be so many traders who will be doing the transactions. Then, non-resident taxable persons. So if any non-resident taxable persons who is supplying goods under in India or in a state, then he has to compulsorily get registration. So non-resident means he is not resident as per the Income Tax Act in India. That is, he has not stayed more than 182 days in India. So such person doing business in India has to get registration. Then person who are required to deduct the tax at source. Any person who is required to deduct tax as per the section 51, then he has to compulsorily get registration. Then any person who is required to collect tax as per the section 52, then he has the obligation to get the registration. Then person who supply goods or services on behalf of taxable person as an agent or otherwise. So if a person supply goods and services on behalf of his principal, agent is supplying goods on behalf of some principal, or principal is supplying goods on behalf of agent. So here both the persons have to get registered under GST. Then input service distributors. So if any person who is distributing the services, then he has to compulsorily get registration. Then person supply goods through electronic commerce operators. So electronic commerce operators have to get registered, but any persons or any traders who is doing or who is supplying transactions, supplying goods through electronic commerce operators, then that person also compulsorily get registration as per GST Act. Then every person supplying online information and database access and who is outside India and is supplying that database and online information to a person who is non-taxable in India, then he has to compulsorily get registration as per GST. Then such person as may be notified by the government on recommendation of the council. So any person or any trader or any supplier who may be notified by the government on recommendation of the GST council, he has to get registration as per the GST. So these are the persons who are liable for registration under GST Act. Then who are the persons who are not liable for registration under GST Act? So let's discuss one by one. The first one is an agriculturist supplying products out of cultivation of land. So if there is any farmer or agriculturist who is supplying products, maybe vegetables or any any agricultural goods by cultivation of land, then he has no obligation for getting registration under GST since he is involved in the agricultural activity. Then person falling within threshold exemption limit. So if you are falling within threshold limit, that is 40 lakhs or 20 lakhs, then you have no obligation or you are not liable for registration under GST unless you are opting for voluntary registration. Then third one, person supplying nil rated or exempted goods. If any person who is supplying nil rated in the sense the rate is nil, 0, and exempted goods, so such goods are exempt under GST Act. Such person need not get registered because there is no obligation to pay the tax. Then person making non-taxable and non-GST supplies. If any person making non-taxable in the sense there is no tax on the such goods, and also non-GST supplies. There are certain goods which are non-GST supply, for example petroleum products, then alcohol, cigarettes, all these are non-GST supplies. That means GST will not apply, some other taxes will apply. So such person need not register under GST. Then a supplier whose turnover does not exceed rupees 40 lakhs. In case of special category it is 20 lakhs. Okay, then they need not get registered. So if your total turnover in a year is less than 40 lakhs. For example, it is only 25 lakhs or 30 lakhs or 39 lakhs. Then you have no obligation for registration. Then activities that are neither supply of goods nor services. There may be certain activities which will not be considered as supply of goods or services. Maybe the supply of goods by government, supply of services by government, which are not considered as supply of goods or services. Then person making only supplies covered under reverse charge. So if a person making only supplies which are covered under reverse charge mechanism and who is liable to pay only under reverse charge mechanism, then he need not get registered. It's not compulsory for him because he is paying for the purchases. He is not paying for the supply of goods, remember. So that person need not get registered under GST, and provided his threshold limit or his total turnover is less than 40 lakhs. So that condition will apply. So that's all from this video. Thank you for watching this video.